Are you currently struggling in the kitchen with the tools that you have? Do you feel like chopping vegetables is like using a butter knife?
I give up. There's gotta be a better way.
Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just an ad for a knife on Facebook. It looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna get it. We are not buying a knife off of some random Facebook ad. But look at that price. It's so cheap. I don't want to hear it. That's like throwing money down the drain. I know a place. Let's go.
Hey everyone, what's going on? My name is Lin Yunt, and today I'm down in Shinsekai in front of the Tower Knives store because we are in need of a new knife. So right now I'm with the manager of the store, Joe.
Yes, my name is Joe. I basically manage the shop here and take care of the sharpening and handling of inquiries and stuff like that when it comes to English requests and stuff like that.
How long have you been here?
In Japan, I've been here for almost 11, 12 years now, working in the knife industry, about 7 years now.
What got you interested in working in the knife industry to begin with?
Met a guy at a bar one day, offered me a job working with knives, and from there got really hooked on the knife industry and what we do, and that was it.
Is there anything that people should be looking for when they're picking up a knife?
What do they want to do? What are they looking for? Are they looking for a general purpose knife? Are they looking for a small petty knife? What is it you're trying to do with that knife? Everyday household users would generally be looking for a multi-purpose general knife, like a chef knife or a medium-sized santoku or bunka knife. These are what you would call single bevel knives. These are the traditional Japanese knives that you use for sashimi, for fish fillet knives. They're only sharpened from one side, while the back is flat, or what we say concave actually on the back there. These are the ones that were specific for Osaka, a city called Sakai. Sakai is technically like the unofficial birthplace of kitchen cutlery in Japan. Sakai is where they first started making these knives, and that's where they got popular. These knives are very thick when they start, and then they get ground on the edge, so they're gonna pull to one side, depending if it's left or right-handed sharpen.
I never really thought about that, but if you've got a single beveled knife, you need either a left or a right-handed knife.
So I'm not sure if you've ever seen your sashimi knife when they're cutting it. The sashimi has like a slightly fatter or wider edge on one and slightly thinner. That's just the nature of the way the knife falls through the fish. These are double bevel knives. These ones here are sharpened what's called asymmetrically. There is technically a front and a back side. Because they do hand grinding, I'll get you some pictures later. The big waters, they do it by hand, so it's never gonna be exactly perfect 50-50. Most general people, for general use, a chef knife or a medium-sized santoku or home use a bunka knife there, they will be looking at these double bevel knives here. These ones are out of Sakai here. It's more hands-on approach to making knives. They have big water reels, sharpened by hand, one by one. When people think, oh, who's the bladesmith? Well, they can be various different people. Usually in Japan, the craftsmen, if you're a forger, that's what they focus on. They hammer out the steel, but they usually don't grind or sharpen the knives. They'll send that to another guy who specializes in grinding and sharpening. Because usually it takes many years to learn each one of these crafts, and to do it efficiently and fast, it's better just to let you focus on one as opposed to. Very Japanese, they try to focus on one thing and do it well. So if we go on down the line here, we'll get more into an area called Seki City, Gifu Prefecture there. Okay. Seki is more known for, if you were to think machines, just think factories. But you have a lot of automotive makers out in that area, car parts, big, all Honda, steelwork, stuff like that out in Seki. So when it comes to them making knives, you're gonna start to notice that they start to look a little bit more commercial, Western style handles, as opposed to the more traditional style, because they make volume. It's a little bit more mass production with these. Fukui, very famous also for their forgers, so you guys who are hammering out knives. And they do a lot of the Damascus pattern hammered out steel, which is layered steel here. And then we also have Miki, where they're known for, more known for their woodworking tools, chisels and stuff like that, but there are also knife makers out of that area as well. But yeah, that just covers the regions there. Wow. This up here is the Sakai single bevel kind of process of how they hammer and forge out the steel here. Carbon steel, which is once it's the hard steel that forms the edge, clad in a softer steel, and they'll hammer them out together, shaping the knife, and this bottom part is, as I said before, how they split up the steps. You have the bottom part here where you have, that's the forge's job. And once you have that basic ground shape and heat treated, that then goes to the sharpener grinder who starts the grinding and sharpening process there.
That's really cool, seeing all the steps.
And that's why I said it does take a lot of time to learn how to, because if you mess up this step, well then you got to go back or you might have even ruined it. So you got to make sure you do each step correctly in order to advance to the next step and get to your finished product there.
So Joe, what's that?
This here is a very special, what you call a tuna knife, maguro bocho, a tuna knife.
Yeah.
If you see a tuna knife, generally they tend to come to about this size.
Yeah.
So it's very rare to see one this large. So it's a very special tuna knife we have in our shop here.
Do you know how long that is?
This here, I think, is 1.5 meters.
Yeah. Do you know how much that would cost?
Last time we put a price tag on this, people just kind of go, "Whoa!" Yeah, because it's hand forged.
Yeah.
And it's sharpened by one of the more well-renowned sharpeners in Sakai.
Yeah.
And sharpening this thing is not easy to do.
I can imagine.
But a couple million yen, let's just say that.
A couple of million yen.
Yeah.
Wow. So at least $20,000. So Joe, can you tell me a little bit about what we've got set up here?
So I pulled out the knives that you kind of were interested in, as well as just some other ones just to explain some different things about the knives. These two, and these are the medium-sized general-purpose knife, which is going to be your Santoku or your Bunka, and then I pulled out their larger Gyuto version, or the chef knife. It's called Gyuto, they say in Japan, which is your larger 8-inch chef knife there. This here is a very cheap knife. It's dull. Not going to cut well. It still cuts, but most people, how they use knife, they'll just push straight down. Yes, it cuts. When you have a sharp knife, what you're actually doing, you're actually creating very small teeth or serrations on the edge. It's almost like a saw, but on a very fine scale. Yes, so when you actually have a good quality knife that's sharpened properly here, so instead of pushing straight down, you're going to want to actually move the knife back or forward. So down and forward, allowing the knife to do the work for them. So if you compare that to a very dull knife that's just press cut, you get a very different surface on there, which affects the way it's cooked, the way the flavor comes out. That will dry out faster than this. When you sharpen it, yes, you're creating a point, but with the stones, when you're sharpening by hand, they put tiny scratches, and eventually those scratches, when they take off the steel, will form very tiny micro serrations. So think of a saw, but on a very, very fine scale. I'll demonstrate here on a tomato. It's actually very, very simple here. Sharp knife, but if I push down, just straight down, see, just smash through.
Yeah.
But you move it forward or backwards, it does the work there for you.
Okay.
But enough for me cutting. If you want to have a go.
Oh, that's so smooth. It's like butter.
Generally go with the knife that's comfortable in your hand. It's like shoes.
Okay.
Don't buy shoes that don't fit your hand. That don't fit.
I think I'm pretty happy with this one.
We have a card here. That's Mr. Food. Mr. Food.
Oh, he's the knife maker.
He's the knife maker of the Hetsu brand Sakai Kanchika. He's the grinder sharpener. Because the knife you chose is one of those hand-sharpened, hand-ground knives.
Yeah.
They're all gonna be individual. So meaning they're all gonna feel and slightly feel a little bit different in the hand. So instead of just me picking one for you, I'm gonna pull out some here.
Oh wow.
And basically choose the knife you want to take home with you.
Amazing. Okay.
Some people tend to say it's like we're like Harry Potter, but for
Oh, the
adults.
wands.
That's what I was gonna say because of all the little boxes on the wall. It feels like I'm in Ollivanders.
So you'll notice first of all that even the coloring of the layered stamina wood here is going to look different patterns. The grinding is hand done, so I can pull out a scale if you want, and it'll show you that each one's going to weigh differently.
Way more sort of decision making than I thought I was going to have to do.
like.
Just get the one that feels right, because the knife, if you take care of it properly, manage it, it is going to last quite a long time.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's go with this one.
That one there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you for stopping by. And
Thanks
sorry
very
for
much.
talking a lot about
No.
knives. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
We learned a lot.
Great.
Thanks so much, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.